Someone recently introduced me to this quotation. It's very funny. It says, expectations are resentments under construction. Ooh, that's a good one. Expectations are resentments under construction. When we set an expectation, we're putting a limitation on our experience. This is one of those semantic moments that I love to dig into. The difference between expectation and expectancy. So, expectation is defined as a belief that someone will or should achieve something. Expectancy is the state of thinking or a feeling that something, especially something pleasant, will happen. Belief versus feeling. In the movie Dogma, Chris Rock's character, Rufus, is talking about religion with Bethany, very cynical Bethany. And he says, God said humanity took a good idea and, like always, built a belief structure on it. And Bethany says, you mean having beliefs isn't good? And Rufus says, it's better to have ideas. You can change an idea. Changing a belief is trickier. And so I feel this way about the difference between resolutions and intentions. Resolutions to me seem closed-ended and limited. Intentions seem to have this expansive openness to them. Resolutions feel stiff and unchangeable, where intentions feel more open to possibility, more ready to adjust as our lives and we shift through our moments. So with resolutions, we set ourselves up to fly with great enthusiasm while carrying really heavy baggage. And so then, when we have liftoff challenges or a complete failure, we feel, oh, we failed. And not all of us. I'm certainly not speaking for all of us. I'm only speaking for myself and maybe a few others who might relate. So with that said, a few years ago, I said no more New Year's resolutions. I am now going to set New Year's intentions. And I don't really have any set ritual or specific process or anything to set these intentions because that would be limiting it. The idea is that sometimes a New Year's intention can surface in April or August. It can suddenly be like, oh, I still have a few months. I'm going to set this intention. And you can. It doesn't have to be New Year's Eve or January 1st. So this is one of those things about like rules and parameters that we put around ourselves. We forget that unlike Monopoly or Risk or other board games, we write our own personal rule books. And we can change and we can amend them. And of course, if any of you have ever played Monopoly or any other board game with me, you know that all rule books are amendable and changeable. Anyway, that's another talk. So when we step away from the limitations of how things should be, we can stand in the light of possibility of how things could be, or even the vision of how we want them to be. Someone shared this quote on Facebook the day after Christmas. It's from Howard Thurman, and I really, really love it. It says, when the song of the angels is stilled, when the star in the sky is gone, when the kings and princes are home, when the shepherds are back with their flock, the work of Christmas begins. To find the lost, to heal the broken, to feed the hungry, to release the prisoner, to rebuild the nations, to bring peace among brothers and all others, to make music from the heart. The true work of anything begins after we decide to begin the true work. It's kind of like commencement. It's not the end, it's commencing. So we may set our intentions on New Year's Eve. However, the true work of our intentions begins New Year's Day and every day after. Because they're intentions. And so as the openingness of the intentions, we can adjust them, we can amend them, like I was saying, and you can remove ones that aren't working, or you can check off the ones that you accomplished. And as your life changes, you can just sort of roll with them. It's like, oh, this intention's working. Oh, this one needs some tweaking, and just kind of work with it. So it's actually really exciting. It's really dynamic to have New Year's intentions, because you never know how it's going to go. And so this is one of the things that I love about Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa is not a static holiday. It's a celebration that calls us to change how we're living every day. The Kwanzaa holiday was created to introduce and reinforce 7 principles which were viewed as core value systems for healthy and thriving families, stable and loving, caring relationships, effective parenting practices, school achievement, and nonviolent, safe, and productive communities. Awesome. How many of us actually know that about Kwanzaa? You know, I mean, probably everyone here, but like other people, they just know, oh, it's that other holiday. But there's so much to it. The 7 days are organized around these 7 principles: unity, self-determination, collective work and responsibility, shared wealth, purpose, creativity, and faith. And they have a greeting that are used to reinforce the commitment of the 7 principles. So we're going to do it. So the initial person says, Habari Gani, which translates as, what's the news? And then the response is whatever the day word is. So today's word is Ujima, collective work and responsibility. So it's pronounced Ujima. So here we go. Habari Gani. Ujima. Nice, fabulous. Ujima is the principle that teaches each family member to recognize their own well-being and how it is derived from their family and community's well-being, and that the lives of each family member and that of the community are all bound together. Oneness. Right? I love this. So collective work and responsibility reminds us of our obligation to the past, present, and future, and that we have a role to play in the community, in our family, in our world. And so it's interesting, on the way in this morning I was listening to NPR, and they were talking about the new movie Selma that's coming out, about the Martin Luther King and Selma, and getting people to register to vote, and how exciting it is that they're actually going for accuracy in this movie, as opposed to Exodus, which is not going for accuracy. So, but and how exciting it is that Selma is actually a teaching movie. It's a big movie, and it's also a teaching movie. So that reminded me, it's like how perfect that it's coming out right now. So now you know today is collective work and responsibility. Awesome. So a wonderful place to start for an intention. When you think about working together as a community, when I was looking at our tithe for January, I was thinking, oh, this totally everything kind of ties in. And so it's a great place to start. So if we start from the intention of collective work and responsibility, taking care of myself, moving forward with myself and how I affect out into the community, we can figure out how to best serve ourselves, our family, our friends, the others in our world, and our children, if they're furry or human, and how to bring people's dreams into fruition. So then, as I continued pondering intentions, I also got a jump start from Rumi, the wonderful magical poet. And there were 2 poems from Rumi that got me going, so I'm going to share those. So this was a really fun exploration. So the first one says, passion burns down every branch of exhaustion. Passion is the supreme alchemical elixir and renews all things. No one can grow exhausted when passion is born. So don't sigh heavily, your brows bleak with boredom and cynicism and despair. Look for passion, 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 passion. Futile solutions deceive the force of passion. So run, my friends. Run fast and furious from all false solutions. Let divine passion triumph and rebirth you in yourself. And then the second one was, all day I think about it. Then at night I say it. Where did I come from? And what am I supposed to be doing? I have no idea. My soul is from elsewhere. I'm sure of that. And I intend to end up there. So from that first reading, I love that no one can grow exhausted when passion is born. Oh, this is so essential. It's a great essential place to start when we're choosing our intentions. From passion, we don't need to know the answers, just the intention to seek them. We don't need to know the how of all the things we want to achieve. We just need the passion to begin. The how will become clear to us as we go. Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz had no idea. The house lands, she's in a colorful place, there are little people, there's a chick in a bubble. Not so sure. And all she knew was follow this road. That was her intention. I'm going to follow this road. And what's so great is, when she comes to the fork, the four-way fork, and there's the scarecrow, they somehow know which direction to keep going. And so she doesn't know how it's going to turn out. She knows what she wants, but she has no idea. And so brilliantly, beautifully. So I got the Wizard of Oz in there. Yes, before the end of the year. And then from the second reading, my favorite line, what am I supposed to be doing? I have no idea. Brilliant, brilliant. I used to envy people who always knew what they were going to be. My friends in high school and college, and I'm going to be a teacher, and then they went to college and they studied to be a teacher, and then they became a teacher. Or the people who want to become doctors and they become doctors. Or the people who want to be a dancer and then they become a dancer. It's like, wow, I used to really envy them. And I'm not dissing them at all. I think that's awesome. If you know your path early and you can follow it through and you can get that accomplished, rock on with your bad self. That's awesome. It is never who I was. Never. I never really knew what I wanted to be when I grew up. I was never really even sure I would grow up. And if you ask many people who know me, the jury's still out on that. But I knew at the age of 10 that I was supposed to go live in Assisi and serve Brother Francesco and be a monk. That didn't really show up at many career assemblies. And there certainly I haven't found any aptitude tests saying, and would you like to pick olives in Assisi? Oh, excellent, excellent. It's like I never really fit what do you want to do with your life? I'm like, live? I don't know. So it was really challenging to follow a path because there really wasn't one. My yellow brick road was kind of obscured. And then I don't know when it was, probably around the age of 10 or shortly after that. I remember I watched Mr. Rogers. Okay, full disclosure. I watched Zoom, Electric Company, and Mr. Rogers. And recently I saw this quote from him that said, all I know to do is to light the candle that has been given to me. And I thought, oh, where was that on career day? Wow. That is the most awesome intention there is. That's the most awesome intention there is. At our Christmas chapel, we had kids and families all in this big circle, and we were doing a candle lighting. And we had to explain that you have to tilt your unlit candle to the lit candle to light it. Because if you tilt the lit candle, wax drips. So had to be explained. Because logically you don't think about it. You're like, oh, I'm going to go light this candle. Oh, I'm dripping wax. So you have to take the unlit one and tip it. and then the next one does. So all I know to do is to hold that light, to light the candle that's coming to me, that's being given to me. And so with intentions, it's so much easier and so much gentler to begin where we are with what we have. So if the only intention that I can come up with is, I intend to be more patient when I drive, excellent. Except that that's kind of a big one, so we're going to scale down, because that's really hard. So we're going to start with a baby step, like, I intend to hit the snooze button less when I'm waking up in the morning. Or I intend to not start every talk with the word so. Or this one. I think this might be my New Year's intention. I intend to light the candle that's been given to me. Because, the intention, I don't have to make my intention, I'm going to change the entire world tomorrow. That's as bad as a resolution. So, and if I say I'm going to change the world entirely tomorrow by myself, it's like, it's hard. I got to be more gentle and more compassionate and try to be more forgiving and more aware and more grateful. So those could be great intentions, to be more patient, more forgiving, more aware, more compassionate, more grateful. So when we start from where we are, we can set intentions that feel accomplishable. And let me just say for the record that accomplishable did not get corrected on spell check, so it's actually a word. Accomplishable. I had no idea it was a word. And then we can remain open to all that is possible and to what we don't know yet, to what's coming that we don't know, because we don't. Everything could change tomorrow. Everything could change in 2 hours. So our intention might change. We're going to change. It's perfectly fine. Thomas Merton said this, and I love this. We have what we seek. It's there all the time, and if we give it time, it will make itself known to us. Patience. I intend to be more patient. Because if I can give it time, what I'm seeking will make itself known to me. And things like this are so simple, and yet so profound. So profound. So one last thing related to intentions, but last year, my mom had turned me on to this website called Just One Word. And it was this idea, I think it's called Just One Word. It's this idea of sitting in meditation and thinking about, what's my one word for the year? And you allow this word to, well up within you. Or hit you in the face. It depends how you work. But this one word comes, and it becomes your word for the year. And I really, really liked that idea last year, and so I did it. And I learned a really valuable lesson, because I had no idea what I was getting myself into, when the word for 2014 was awaken. Be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you affirm. So I like to work with this practice. So I invite you to sit with that idea of just one word, and see what that word is. And in the spirit of this, I'm going to share with you my word, because it came to me. I was doing this a couple days ago, and I thought, what's going to be my word for 2015? And loud and clear, the word came through. And so my word for 2015 is yielding. Yielding. We'll see what that brings. We shall see what it brings. So I welcome all of us to embrace 2015. Fresh start, new year, new date book. I love the new year. And let's opening up. And let's open up to seeing what we want to create and to creating what we want to see. Let's allow this to happen. So before we go into prayer, I want to move us into prayer with this idea. Not yet. Oh, well, yeah. Okay. We're going to move into prayer with this thought. It's from Brother David Steindl-Rast, and he says, prayer is an attitude of lifting up heart and mind to God. So ask, what lifts up your heart and mind? And whatever lifts up your heart, focus on that. So as we move into this time that we call prayer, it's really just a connecting, yet another way to connect. There are no rules for this. Taking a breath and focusing in on what lifts our heart and mind. What's also the beautiful thing about prayer is we can also recognize in these moments what's getting in the way, what's blocking the lifting of our heart and mind. If there's a sadness on our heart, if there's a resentment on our heart, if there's someone we miss or are concerned about, something we're carrying, instead of letting it get in the way of lifting our heart and mind, let's lift it with our heart and mind. Hold that sadness, that sorrow, hold it close and surround it with love and comfort. If there's a resentment, lift it up with the heart and mind and shine light on it. Because it's just a piece of darkness that we have that just, if light shines on it, we can see it better. And then we can move it away and out. If it's somebody who's dealing with a health crisis, a health situation, we can lift them and embrace them with our heart and mind and know that they are in comfort right now. That the hands of every person who touches them and heals them and cares for them, those are the hands of God. Those are the hands of love. Those are the hands of compassion. So whatever it is that might feel like it's getting in the way of lifting the heart and mind, let's use the lifting to just envelop it in love, patience, compassion, care, forgiveness, gratitude. And holding all of those who move through these next few days just a little more tenderly than others. Remembering that everyone experiences these transitions so differently. Let's just hold everyone in a place of gentle care, of tenderness. And if we are in a place of absolute joy and bliss and celebration, then shine that light out. Shine it out so that all others can see it and we can find our way by your light. This is the work that we do, the best intention we can set. Shine the light that we've been given. Let our passion guide us. And trust that wherever we're going, that's where we're supposed to be. With gratitude and blessings, I say, Ashe, Amen, Ashe.